through security, and in classic Geordie fashion, I'm like 2 hours before my flight. Yeah, my gate's like a 16-minute walk away, which is often the case with these big airports. So I was actually hoping to keep my steps down because I know they're going to get up there in Hong Kong later. But yeah, I guess a few steps to get to the gate, and I'm going to get some water, find a coffee, and just chill for a bit. I have my second meal for the day on me as well that I pre-packed to have. My first meal, I just kept it the same as my normal first meal that I showed in the last video, like my baseline food. And then this second meal is like basically a chicken salad with heaps of veggies and micronutrients. So I don't know if I mentioned in the last video that as a part of this deload for the next 2 days, I have a bit of a refeed. So an extra 250 grams of carbs today and tomorrow, which will give me some flexibility to see what's around in Hong Kong. But I've purposely kept these first 2 meals like equivalent to what they would be on a baseline day to give me that more flexibility to overestimate and stuff later in the day. I won't yap too much longer. I'm going to get coffee, water, and I probably won't do much talking until I get to Hong Kong and we figure it out. Actually, it is going to be interesting because meal timing wise, I'm going to be due for like my 3rd meal pretty much like just as we're landing. So what I think I might do is just try and get like a protein feeding in, like get a protein shake at a little store as soon as I land. And then so I'm not like stressing about finding the perfect kind of meal at the airport, which probably won't be great, or like as soon as I get to the hotel. So I'll just get a protein feeding in and then be chill to check in. And then I'll be able to go and find like a good place to get a proper meal in. Anyway, that's all for now. All right, we are in Hong Kong. Pretty, seamless airport experience at both ends. I've definitely had far worse times, so nothing to complain about. I did think I was going to get a taxi because online it says that, some only take cash, but there's some that definitely take card. So I walked like quite a while, one way getting out of the airport to be told that no, cash only. So I had to go to this other part to get an Uber. But my Uber driver just picked me up, but then he sent me a message, I had to get translated because he doesn't speak English through the app, but he just had to run to the bathroom. So I did find a 7-Eleven when I got off the plane and got a protein shake. So there's 30 grams of protein there. And I got one Chobani as well. So an easy 45 grams of protein. And I haven't fucking plugged it all in yet, but I think we're looking at roughly like 300 calories. So that'll just tie me over now until I get to the hotel. It's about a 40-minute. Oh my God, my arm gets so sore just holding a phone up. That's not a good sign. I'm staying in central Hong Kong, if that means anything to anyone watching. And yeah, I should be able to check in straight away because it is now 1:55. Oh, actually that's Thailand time. So it's 2:55 here, it's 1 hour later. And how's the flight landed like 45 minutes early? When does that ever happen? So that's super good. It's all happening. Here comes my driver running back now from the bathroom. But nah, I'm excited. Keen to just get checked in and then hit the streets, and I'll see you guys then. Alright, you guys can probably tell I suck at this vlogging thing. Honestly, wasn't feeling too crash hot after like the flight and the drive here, and I've just done a little bit of like a grocery haul from like a few different places. Now, Hong Kong is no fucking joke. It is extremely expensive. I'll show you guys some of this food, and I'm not exaggerating when I say the prices I've just spent for this stuff. Okay, so I'll run through it. Now, some of this fruit wasn't too bad. So I think this may have been like $3 for 5 kiwi fruits. This may have been like $3. That was like, wait, am I getting that right? Or am I doing that? Yep, no, that sounds about right. That was probably, wait, this math in my head. 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, wait. Fuck. Hold up. Trying to remember now. It's so, like, obviously I've just kind of gotten used to converting to to tie baht from Australian dollar in my head like seamlessly. Yeah, these were like, you know, $3 or $4. That was like $2. This is a whole like roasted Japanese sweet potato. I don't even remember how much that cost. Now, these were like $6 each. So this is like the cheapest place I could get as well. $6. I think that was like $5 for those tomatoes. That was like $4 for that cucumber. This was only like $3. Now, this is where it gets crazy. $19 Australian, $20 Australian, and about $10 Australian. So I just did a shit job of remembering that. But basically the main thing to take away is $20 for a bag of berries, $20 for a tub of yogurt. That was the most cooked part. So yeah, Hong Kong, expensive. I'd been told that before coming here, but I didn't think it could be quite that bad. Anyway, I didn't even do like a room tour. I can't be fucked right now. I'll probably show you the room tomorrow. It's nothing crazy, but I did choose a good location. I'm happy that I'm in a very good spot in central Hong Kong. I got one meal left to have, which is going to be, I think, I'm going to do a big bowl of yogurt with protein and berries and that cereal, something like that. Like I nearly got Subway. Because I'm like, okay, I could just get like a foot long and just fill it with veggies, and it's been very easy to track. I just know there's nothing weird going in it. And I was honestly about to do that. And then there's like this balance between this internal battle between that and like you're in Hong Kong for a few nights. You may never be back. Don't have fucking Subway. Go and try and have something from like an actual local spot, which I did, and it was honestly nothing special. It was pretty shit, actually. It was actually really shit. And not to, you know, judge them too quickly, but, you know, I have traveled a bit. This is my 30th country I've been to, and the locals do not seem very nice to tourists. Like you go in there, and as soon as you kind of, you know, dictate that you can't speak the language and you're trying to ask for some help, they're very dismissive, and they kind of have this very rude demeanor to them. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's like a Hong Kong specific thing, a Chinese specific thing. This is my first experience of it, but in comparison to places like Thailand, Japan, it was, yeah, very bad. They just did not care at all. Anyway, I'm not built for this vlogging thing. I have no plans for tomorrow. So look, I'll do my best to keep doing some clips so that there's an actual video here. But my main priority is always going to be actually being present and enjoying it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, it's like 4 a.m. I've had the worst night's sleep. My stomach has been an absolute knots. I think that the chicken that I had at that restaurant must have been something wrong with it. And then around like 2 a.m, I just decided to call it quits. Like I just had been laying on my back for like an hour not sleeping, so I decided to get up. Not much is obviously open, or like I want to get this ferry across to like the other part of Hong Kong, but that doesn't open till 6:30. But yeah, I might go for a walk now, go to a 7-Eleven, get some water, get a coffee, maybe just try and, I don't know, see if there's anything worth walking to. Alright guys, checking in. This is going to be a shit video. I'll just get that out the way first. I can't even remember what I've mentioned on here, but basically I got food poisoning very badly. I'm low energy, lethargic, all of that. Not complaining, not being negative, like there are much bigger problems in life. But yeah, it's kind of like obviously just made the trip a bit different than it would have been if I'd been feeling like fully energetic. But check out the situation we're dealing with right now. We've got Pepsi Max on hand, and let me swing you guys around and show you the view. How good is that? Hong Kong is pretty sick. Like I've mentioned before, it's only gotten more expensive. So this is like 11 Australian dollars. Not trying to like obviously fucking flex about that, but it's like you kind of just have to accept that it's going to cost what it's going to cost. It's going to be what it's going to be, and I'm not really letting that get in the way of like experiences and stuff. So I'm not here for long. It'll be okay. I'm not going to look back in even like a month's time and worry or care about it. So, but yeah, food poisoning, stomach bug, something like that. I don't really know exactly. I think it was from the chicken on the first night. I fly out not till like tomorrow night, so still have like over 24 hours still here. I don't honestly know what I'm going to get up to because obviously not feeling well. You know, you have that like feeling of just things that you think will agree with you when you have like an upset stomach like that. So just trying to stick to that kind of stuff and stay on plan. And yeah, it's not exactly the deload and like the refeed that my body probably needed and was hoping for. So I don't have scales here with me. I don't know what my body weight is doing. I'll be keen to get home, get on the scales, have like a day back on my base diet, find like homeostasis, and then just kind of see where I'm at and see what my coach says after I check in. And maybe there'll be a need to like put in a bit of extra carbs to like refill if I have just like been churning through it by not really assimilating my food. Anyway, that's all that's all to worry about another time. Don't know why I'm like talking about shit like that when I'm sitting here in Hong Kong with a view like this. I'm gonna put you guys down. Like I said in another clip, I think, who knows how much talking I'll do, but I'm sure you guys will forgive me that this video hasn't probably been what I expected or thought it could be, because my energy is just a bit low, but we're staying positive. Alright guys, I need to wrap up this vlog. It's been like 4 or 5 days. So yeah, today is Monday. I got back to Bangkok on Wednesday. And now I got to catch you guys up a little bit on what happened. So obviously I told you that I got food poisoning or something like that, some sort of stomach bug when I was over there. Obviously that then kind of put my immune system in a bit of a compromised point of view. What the fuck am I saying? My immune system obviously wasn't in a good spot. So then my first morning back here, Thursday morning, I woke up starting to feel a little bit sick, and I've basically been sick since. I think I'm over the worst of it. I probably don't sound too great, but I've definitely felt a lot worse. Like on Thursday, Friday, I was honestly like getting the worst fevers. I'd just start sweating like I was in a sauna, and then I'd be freezing cold, super bad headaches. Anyway, you know, not trying to complain, like it's not that big of a deal, but it obviously kind of sucks that the whole idea was going to Hong Kong, some extra food, deload from training, come back fresh and just ready to keep going with that momentum that I'd really built up before I left. And then it's kind of like, took the break from training, the extra food like just wasn't a thing because I just wasn't digesting any of it. And then I've had to take extra days off training since getting back because I was sick. And yes, obviously not ideal, but a quick funny story about my flight back from Hong Kong to here. I actually like nearly got, I don't know, not let into Thailand. So I'll tell the story, try and summarize it. You're allowed to stay in Thailand for 60 days at a time, and then you need to have left the country and you come back in for 60 days. And they're cracking down on people doing these border runs where people just stay 60 days, go somewhere, come back, and do that like repetitively for a long time, because they're cracking down on people that are like working illegally or just doing like criminal stuff, which that is not me. Obviously I'm not here working, so I'm like, they probably want someone like me. I'm here putting money into their economy, and I'm not taking jobs or anything like that. Everything I'd researched told me that this is my first time. I only came here for 60 days, just under, was leaving, coming back in once. Like my first time doing it, I wasn't going to have any issues, is what I thought. But I go to hand my passport over when I was coming in, and straight away she's just like starts getting very angry and questioning. Anyway, this is going to be a long story if I try and tell it into depth, but she just starts yelling at me saying like, where did you stay last time for 60 days? And I was like, in Bangkok. She's like yelling about saying, how the hell did you stay the whole time in Bangkok? Now whereabouts are you going to be staying? And I was like, Bangkok again. And she was like, obviously what's triggering in her head is like, that doesn't sound like very touristy behavior, just staying in one spot. So she's probably thinking I was working illegally. Starts screaming at me, presses this button. Her boss comes over, takes my passport, leads me into this sectioned off area, tells me to sit down, walks off with my passport. No other word is said to me. And I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes, no idea what's going on, busting to piss. I go to like poke my head out of this like sectioned off little prison area they put me in to ask like, hey, what's going on? And as soon as like someone sees me standing near the exit, some dude in uniform just starts screaming at me to sit down. I sit back down. Anyway, that lady with my passport comes back and she starts asking questions saying like, you can't stay more than 60 days, you overstay. And I was like, with all respect, no, I didn't. I'd stayed less than the time I've left. I haven't done anything wrong. And basically she was kind of saying, oh yeah, but you're taking the piss by staying just under 60 days, just going to Hong Kong for a few days and coming back. You can't do that. And she just said, okay, like it's all good, but yeah, next time you can't do that again, basically. So anyway, that was a little bit of excitement at the airport at like 8, 9 o'clock at night when I got back. To try and summarize the Hong Kong trip, I think I mentioned something in a previous clip about the people not being very nice, like the locals not being very nice to tourists. I did experience more of that, but then I did also have some really positive experiences where people were super nice and like more of that, like the vibe that you get in other countries where they're inquisitive about seeing someone who's visiting, and they're like asking where you're from, and they're like happy to see that you're visiting their country, enjoying their culture, their food, and they're like, you know, they have that like happiness about them seeing that. So I did have some positive experiences as well. I just wanted to mention it wasn't all bad, but there definitely was some bad ones. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say to wrap up this video. Yes, hopefully the sickness doesn't hang around too much longer. Oh, it's kind of funny getting like the food poisoning and then having like a few days of not training and having not trained legs. My physique weirdly looked like really good for one day over in Hong Kong when I had to take my check-in pics for my coach. My legs in particular just looked like so much sharper. I'll pop up some pictures here. The detail in my legs was just like, you know, weeks and weeks of progress worth of like fat loss out of nowhere. And it's funny, since coming back and just having one leg session, that's gone completely. But it just shows like if I just drop a bit of that inflammation off, how sharp my legs looked out of nowhere, which was kind of cool. My focus now is just on completely getting over this sickness. I just want it fucking completely gone so I can get things going again. All right, fuck, I've used up all of my brain power for the fucking next 3 days doing this fucking video. So I'm gonna get back to doing fucking nothing and trying to feel better. And yeah, that's it.